Welcome, this is Mr. Anderson with the Chapter 8 Rational Expression Review, and I want to take a look at problem number 7. If you saw problem number 6, this is very similar. We have a horizontal asymptote that's changed a little bit here. We need to graph this function, and let's plug this in the calculator and just have a look at what this looks like here. Y equals, so clear that out. We've got 3, here, let's do this. Let's make sure we have 3 divided by x minus 2, and then we add 2 to that function there. All right, so let's graph this, take a look at what it looks like. And we see from the graph we end up with it looks like a horizontal asymptote right at 2, and a vertical asymptote right at x equals 2. All right, it has this general shape to it. And you see that vertical line right at x equals 2. All right, that's not trying to draw the vertical asymptote. It's not part of the function. It's just has to do with really the inaccuracy of the calculator here. All right, the steps that it's taking in order to graph this. Okay, so let's draw this. Notice it goes up a little bit above and a little bit past over here. All right, and then over here as well. We know it has a general shape like that. All right, but of course we want some accuracy. All right, so let's get some accuracy to it. Right here, we know that we have a vertical asymptote at what makes this denominator 0. All right, so if x equals 2, that'd be 2 minus 2, and we'd be dividing by 0, and we will have a vertical asymptote there. So right at x equals 2, we will draw a vertical dashed line. All right, and I see some people mix up the direction they're supposed to go on these vertical and horizontal asymptote. Well, if you drew a horizontal asymptote there, that wouldn't make any sense really, because you could have x equals negative 7 and end up with the same thing there if you drew a horizontal asymptote for any value of x. All right, that wouldn't make any sense. All right, you need to draw a vertical asymptote, and the equation for this line, x equals 2, is a vertical line, and we should know that as well. Okay, so and then we have a horizontal asymptote. This function is shifted up by 2. We have a horizontal asymptote at y equals 2. So right at y equals 2, we are going to draw a horizontal dashed line representing that asymptote. Function gets really, really close to there, but never touches it. Okay, and then we want some points of accuracy. All right, so we'll go x and y, and what kind of values do I want to plug in here? Let's try and skip a number here. Let's go with negative 1, and then 1, negative 1 and 1, and then we'll see that right at 2, calculator will read error. All right, for our vertical asymptote. And then let's go 1, 2, 3, and 5. Let's pick those numbers for our points of accuracy. All right, and I'm not even going to plug them in here. Let's just take a look straight at our calculator table and see what those values are. Let the calculator do the work for us here. All right, so let's go second and graph. Pull up that table. There we see our vertical asymptote right there. All right, what I say, negative 1, 1. So at negative 1, it's 1. At 1, it's negative 1. So that's 1 and negative 1. And then at 3, it is 5, and 5, we have 3 values. So I'm going to plot these points, negative 1, comma 1 right here, and 1 comma negative 1 right here. And then over on the other side, I'll go to 3, comma 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 5, comma 3. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, comma 1, 2, 3 right here. Okay. All right, and let's draw the graph as we're way out in the direction of negative infinity. We are super close to this horizontal asymptote. We curve around, hit these 2 points, and then get really close to the vertical asymptote. Closer and closer, but don't cross over. Alright, so what I don't want to see is I don't want to see this come back away from either asymptote here. I don't want to see it come back away. I also don't want to see it crossing over your either asymptote there. So I don't want to see this. I don't want to see that. All right, coming back away from your asymptotes or crossing over. All right, so don't do that. All right. Okay, and let's do the other half of our graph here. Curving around, hitting those 2 points, and then again getting really close to our horizontal asymptote. All right, so I've got the general shape that we saw in on the graphing calculator. I've got our vertical asymptote, I've got a horizontal asymptote, and I got a couple of points of accuracy. Again, with domain and range, or where does this function exist? We see from negative infinity to positive infinity with the x values, there's a little hole right here at x equals 2. So this is all real numbers except 2. And then going from negative infinity with the y's up to positive infinity, we again see there's a little hole right there at y equals 2 that the function never touches. All right, so we've got, with the y values, we got all real numbers except 2 again. All right, and there we go. Domain and range. All right, hope this was helpful.